Well, good afternoon. Good afternoon, man. Anyway, I shouldn't. Well, I'm gonna do this live stream anyway. This afternoon, I got something in my spirit. I guess I want to share. Hey, good evening, Miss Veronica Curie, Gloria Bradley Hackett. How you doing? Khalito Muhammad. Assalamu alaikum. Marie Stafford. Good evening. Those folks on stage. Lewis Straub. How you doing, my brother? I hope you're doing well. Mark Hammonds. Good evening to you. Sydney Minor, good evening, good afternoon. Jamie, good afternoon to you. Just give a few people a few minutes to join us. Morgan, how are you? Morgan McIntyre. Ronald Newton, good evening to you. Good evening, all those folks. Look, I'm only going to take a few minutes. I want to share a quick little message with you. Hey, Miss Noreen Childs, James Head, good evening to all the folks. Hey, Kyle X. Brown, how you doing, my brother? Eddie Hackett, good evening. I wanted to share something. Miss CC Mahone sort of inspired me to make this stream because she did this stream, and I would encourage everybody, man, get on Facebook and hit that live button and start talking and share your story because I say this all the time. Hey, Isaac Matias, man, you on fire, bro. I've been watching your videos, man. You on fire that you're making things happen. I'm telling you. People need to hear your story. They've heard my story. They've heard Mr. Delco's story. They've heard a lot of the leaders' story. Hey, Mr. Greg McKay himself. Brother Eric Teray Muhammad, assalamu alaikum. But they need to hear your story. And you don't need to feel you need to be somebody else. Just get on live stream and be yourself. Because, anyway, let me see what I go through. I want to get off on a tangent for 35 minutes. I'm going to try to, I made some bullet points. Miss CC Mahone did a live stream today, and I'm so proud of her for doing that. It inspired me to, I want to sort of take off on what she said. It's like, she said something like, what you don't know. What you don't know, you don't know. Okay? He's been saying, what you don't know can't hurt you. Well, that's not true. We know what you don't know can actually kill you. But the statement is you don't know what you don't know. And sometimes if you don't know it, then you don't know you should be taking action upon those things. But once you know something, you should act upon it. And so I was just chatting with Mr. McNeil, a gold director on the West Coast out in Seattle, one of the few gold directors on the entire West Coast. I'm with 35, 40 million people on the West Coast. I think we got one or two, maybe three gold directors in the whole world of Carabaos on the West Coast. He's one of them. We was just talking about things we don't know, that we should know, but we don't know. And things we don't get taught on. There's so many things we could talk about. Like we don't know how to be a good father. Okay, in most cases, many of us, because no one told us. We don't know how to be a good husband or a good wife. Why? Because there's no class in school on how to be a good husband, how to be a good a father, how to be a good mother. We don't have class in those things. So the only way we can learn those things is if we're fortunate enough to be grown up in a family that teaches us about commitment and all those kinds of things, we can learn those things. I look at the self that I've been married for 41 years. I say I believe that's because my mother and father were married for 40 plus years. Okay, Valerie's parents married for over 26 years. That example was set there, so it taught you how to work through the struggle. That's not my topic today. You don't know what you don't know. So anyway, I'm gonna talk about Karatbars, what you don't know about life in this business. Number one, I consider myself lucky because at 20 years old, I started learning some things I didn't know that were not taught me in 16 years of education. Here's the first thing I learned that you don't know. And I'm going to talk about things you don't know. I'm going to talk about things I've learned also as well over this last 37-year journey. Number one, this is a critical one to know that you don't know. The average person don't know this because they're not going to teach you this in school. You're only going to learn this little known fact, okay, that's a reality poking everybody in the face, that 95% of the population will end up dead or broke at 65 or 70 years old. After working 45 years, 95% of the population will be dead or broke. That's not me talking. That's a fact. Now, you don't know that. Now, once you know that, the question becomes, what do you do? What action can you take to make sure you're not a part of that 95%? Does that make sense? Once you know that. So you don't know. So you're doing exactly what society told you. You're going to work, but most don't have the foresight to stop and look at the folks who've been doing what we're doing for 25 or 35 or 45 years working that job and asking ourselves, are they where I want to be? Now, I instinctively felt like, I'm like in the Matrix movie. I felt something was wrong. I didn't know what was wrong, but I felt something was wrong with the system and society. I mean, I knew the other ills of society, I knew about racism and ism. I'm not talking about that. I just knew something was wrong with this so-called good job I had. And I look at people who've been in a good job for 35 or 40 years. This was common sense to me. And I kept saying, but they're not where I want to be in 35 or 40 years. Common sense to me. So I started looking at a very early age because I knew something was not right. Now, I didn't know what I didn't know. I know that 95% of people on that path are going to end up broke anyway. I didn't know that until I was 28 years old. And once I knew that, I said, oh. And then I was told, if you don't want to be where the masses are going, don't do what the masses are doing. Now, that's a simple thing, but most people, you can say that, you can hear that, but it's so simple. Once you know, and you see all the masses headed down this way, all the masses are blindly walking to the slaughterhouse. And you've been told, because you don't know, but now you know. 95%. 85% of the population, according to the U.S. Census Bureau, don't have $200 in the bank after working 40 to 45 years. That's 85% of the population. That means the majority of people are going this way. Majority of people are bowling in their spare time. Majority of people watching 30 hours of television. Majority of people don't read a book. The majority of people don't plug in with people who have dreams and goals and aspirations. Majority of people doing the same thing day in and day out, waiting for the boss to take care of them, waiting for a job. Now, if you want to be part of the 85 to 95%, just keep doing what they're doing. See, once you know this, you know where they're going. If you don't want to go where they're going, don't follow the masses. Go the opposite direction. That's not that deep. Find yourself doing something. Cut the television off. Don't do what they're doing. Okay? If 100 million people watching the NFL every week, you think to yourself, I might find a better use for my time. Now that you know what the masses are doing that's leading to the slaughterhouse, don't do it. Unless you just resign yourself to be one of that 95% and say that 1% that becomes wealthy and that 4% that becomes at least independent at 65 or 70 years old is not dependent upon the kindness of family, friends, and relatives. Now that you know, so no matter what job you have, no matter how good you seem to be doing, understand there's a 95% chance that deck is stacked against you and you're going to fail financially if you continue to do what the 95% of the population is doing, and that's waking up, going to work 46 hours a week, okay, and not taking that spare time and finding a way to change the odds in your favor. You don't know. Now you know, okay? Now watch this. Here's the second thing you don't know. I didn't know until about 20-some years ago. I read a book that told me the Federal Reserve is not the federal government. Nobody ever told me that. I go into a bank, man, it said the Federal Reserve got our back, the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation, you put your money in the bank, is all protected. I didn't know, okay, that the Federal Reserve was a privately held corporation owned by a handful of families that print money out of thin air, sell that money to the government, charge the government interest, then and the banks give it to the government gives it to the banks, and then charge the banks interest. The banks give it to us to buy homes and cars and clothes, whatever we're going to do with it, and then charge us interest or give us credit cards and charge us for it. But this handful of families, they're printing them out of thin air and then tell you if you print the money, it's illegal. Okay? I didn't know. Now, I didn't have anything to do. I know what to do about it, but I learned it 20 plus years ago. Some of you on this stream, or some of you plugged into Wealth Builders for the first time in your life, you heard that the Federal Reserve is not federal. It's not the federal government. That was a trick designed in 1913. Now you know. So now the question becomes, what do you do about it? And yes, Miss Anastasia Dallas, I watched your video today too, man. You guys fired between you and Miss Mahone. You guys got me fired to go do it. Miss Anastasia talking about reading, and she broke down everything. I love Pastor Leroy Thompson. I read his book, Money Cometh from the north, the south, the east, the west. Money cometh to me, pressed down, running over. I read his book. Yeah, I read it. Okay, 10 years, 20 years ago, I read his book. Believe me. Okay, I love Leroy Thompson. Man can build a multi-million-dollar operation down in Mississippi. You got to be kidding me. Anyway, I'm off track. Okay. The Federal Reserve. But see, now that you know, you said, okay, I understand the Federal Reserve is not federal. Okay. And by the way, your money in the bank is not your money. That law was passed about 6 years ago. The money in the bank is not your money. Don't believe it's your money. Now, when your money is in the bank and the bank is paying you interest, you are de facto business partner of the bank. And when the bank goes bankrupt, they have the right to go into your account and take that money to pay off their debts. If you didn't know, now you know. See, that's not publicized. They got you all focused on COVID-19. They got you all focused on the rioting, but they ain't told you that the money in the bank is not your money. It hasn't been your money for the last 6 years. Well, about 4.5 years. Law was passed. It's no longer your money in the bank. Okay? Some of you don't know. You can't. People all the time say, well, I'm going to take my gold and put my gold in the safe deposit box. You don't want to do that. It's not yours. It belongs to the bank. It's in the safe deposit box. Not yours. Okay? And then so I'm going to put my extra cash in the safe deposit box. They tell you right there. They tell you right there when you get a safety deposit box. Do not put cash in this safety deposit box. What that means, if they can go into your safety deposit box and take the cash out, and you have no grounds to stand on because the law said don't put cash in the safe deposit box. If you didn't know, now you know. I didn't know this stuff. I've learned a lot of stuff in the last 5-6 years in Karatbars, man. It blows my mind how we can function this whole life, and the most vital things that we should know are not taught in school. Mr. McNeil and I was sitting there talking about, I think they should have a semester in school about this is what marriage means. This is what being a husband means. This is what being a wife means. This is what being a father means. This is what being a mother means. These are responsibilities of father and mother. I think that should be taught in school just like math and mathematics. Mathematics and algebra and history. I spent hours learning about world civilization, all that kind of stuff. Don't have anything to do with my life. Spent 4 semesters learning about algebra. I haven't used the algebra thing since I graduated from high school. Okay, but it would have changed my relationship with Valerie a long time ago if they had said me down and said, "Let me tell you what marriage means. What does better or worse mean?" It means that one day when you marry that person, made a commitment to, you're going to find yourself about 55 or 60 years old. And man, you're going to love that better or worse because it's going to be some interesting things going on in your life at 55 or 60 years old, where if you're not committed to you, that's another seminar. Man, let me get off that. I'm on that for some reason. It's in my mind today because man, I've been together 46 years, married 41 years. And praise God, thank God every day for that woman. Every day. Every day. For her putting up with my nonsense, especially at 19, 20, 21 years old. Don't know a thing about what my responsibility were as a man or as a father or as a husband. Didn't have any kids, thank God. By the time Alice came along, I knew what I was supposed to be doing. So praise God. I didn't have any kids as a teenager and all that kind of stuff. Alice came along, I was 30 years old. At that point, I got around some men who told my responsibility as a father and as a husband. So that's another seminar. But you don't know what you don't know. I was 59 years old. There's a Federal Reserve. So now you know. Okay. And the Federal Reserve is stacked against you. Okay. I didn't know the educational system was designed to create workers. I didn't know. Okay. Until I got in network and started saying, you've been conditioned to be broke all your life. What do you mean? No, my condition to get education, get a job. That's right. To make you a worker, not to teach you how to build wealth. So what? And all of a sudden, you got to start questioning everything you've learned for the last 18, 19, 25, 35, 40 years of your life. You got to wait a minute. The system been stacked against me from day one. It's not stacked against you for making a decent living, for having a roof for your head and having a car. And that's what you want, you're fine. But if you ever want to get on the other side where you're wealthy, where you're not going to be part of that 95%, the system is stacked against you on that side. And they're not going to teach you that side. That side, you got to seek that knowledge your own. On your own, you got to seek that information. So you don't know what you don't know. How can I go through 59 years? Some of the best financial advisors in the world have read thousands of books on finances and money, and not one ever say to me, gold is money. Gold is a protection against inflation. Gold is money. Gold will reserve your wealth without the risk associated with a 401k or the risk associated with the stock market or the risk associated going out there getting you some business that you're trying to do that costs $500,000 or $250,000 and you lose all your money trying to get that business off the ground. Gold is a secure way to build your future, protect your future, and to protect your family, to build wealth for generations to come. I didn't know until I was 59 years old. What a difference just knowing that would have made if I had known it at 28 or at 40 or if I had known it even at 50. What a difference that one gold is money. Shh, don't tell nobody. When Karatbars, We get paid to tell people. So now you know. If you are on this stream and you haven't got you a gold savings account, you still don't get it. You think we're trying to hustle you into getting some gold. Man, that's not what we're doing here. We're informing you the importance of saving gold to protect you and your family. That's what we're doing. For those of you getting frustrated about people who don't see this thing, it's because that means you haven't seen it yet. There's no need to be frustrated by anybody who don't see what we're doing. Everybody's not going to see it. But your job is to tell them so they can never say, I didn't know. Once you told them gold is money, and if they get on our power call, and every day we said gold is money. Okay? And if you don't understand that, you're behind the curve. Okay? Here's what I didn't know. I learned it at 20 years old too, that 30% of your income every year is going to be used to pay taxes. That means 30% of your labor is not even yours. Okay? Now, I'm not going to say that's indentured servitude. I'm not going to say that's slavery. Why? Because I appreciate the roads. I appreciate the red lights. I appreciate the stop signs. I appreciate the highways. I appreciate running water coming to my house. So I appreciate all things. So I'm willing to pay the taxes for those things. No problem whatsoever. Okay? Absolutely. I understand the importance of taxes, municipal taxes, government. I understand it, how all those things, taxes supplement this whole lifestyle, this whole advancement of civilization that we have going on, the advancement of science. I understand that. Okay, no problem. But then somebody said, but you know what? If you have a business, then you can offset the payment of those taxes because the business is designed, when you have a business, you are a part of the economy and you're helping to stimulate the growth of the economy because you are reinvested up. Instead of hoarding your dollars in the basement, instead of hoarding your dollars in the bank, you are taking your dollars and you are reinvesting that dollars, which stimulates the economy. I didn't know. So everybody should have a home-based business. I've been telling this story since 1983. If you're here for the first time and you don't have a home-based business, you didn't know, now you know. Okay? It's not an option. In this economy, on this planet, in America, in this country, it is an absolute must. Or you just giving away money. Every year, you just giving away money if you don't have a home-based business in which you are in pursuit of profit. Okay? And I don't care if you're 65 years old or retired, you still need a home-based business. There is a must. If you didn't know it, now you know it. I don't want anybody leaving the stream saying, I didn't know. No, now you know. That's not a suggestion. That's not my opinion. That is a statement of fact. As my man, Mr. Delco, said, you are entitled to your opinion, but you are not entitled to the facts. The facts are the same for everybody. Gravity is the same for everyone. The facts, okay, not subject to your opinion. Okay, it's not my opinion you have a home-based business. It is a fact. You need a home-based business to offset your tax responsibilities in this country. And if you don't have a home-based business, you're just giving away money away. It's like you take your money from your hard-earned job and you're just flushing it down the toilet every single month. Okay? Everybody got that? Now, another way you're losing wealth. I didn't understand this. You're losing wealth every day, every month, every year because of taxes, number one, and the second one is the invisible tax called inflation. Now, that's a big economic word, but all it means is that those dollars that we worship, let me see, I think I got some in my pocket. I got a couple in my pocket. Here's a 20. Okay? This $20 bill, this same $20 bill that was printed back in 1913, that bought a bunch of goods and services. Today, the same $20 bill buys about $1 what it used to buy. Buys about $1 what it used to buy in 1913. That means you can't win saving this. You can't win parking this. And you can't win working like a slave 46 hours a week for this because this keeps decreasing in value, in purchasing power. That's inflation. Okay? My mother and father's first house cost $9,900, okay, in 1967. Okay? The house went up to about $40,000 30 years later. Did the house grow some wings or something? Did the house grow some technology? No, it didn't. This lost its purchasing power. Okay? If you don't understand it now, hope you do. If you're sitting there wondering, how can I make $30,000 a year and my parents make $15,000 a year and I live worse than my parents? Because this right here don't buy what it used to buy. Now, you don't have to go back to college to figure that out. Okay? When Val and our first year at Hampton University cost $2,000. I don't mean $2,000 for a semester. In 1973, when I went to Hampton, the first year was $2,000. The second year was $2,500. The third year was $3,000. The fourth year, it got to $4,000 for the year. That's not bad. Now it's almost 30 grand per year. 40 years later, 30 grand per year. Same institution. Okay? You can't win. Now you know. So if you wonder, how am I working so hard? How am I working 2, 3 jobs and I can't seem to get ahead? Because the system between taxes and inflation, you can't win. You can outwork and a linear exponential inflation with a linear income. We say it on every call 2 times a day. Now you know. Okay? So you say, oh, I didn't know. Okay, now I know all the negative. What's the positive? Number one, here's a positive. Number one, you can start a home-based business called Karatbars International. It doesn't cost you a dime. You didn't know that. Okay, if you're listening to this stream for the first time, now you know. So you can't function, you can't take action on what you didn't know. And that's why I say I'm so blessed that Jim Morris, my sponsor, called me 6 years ago and introduced me to Karatbars International because I didn't know. And the first thing I saw a sign that said, get paid to save gold. I didn't know I could get paid to save gold. I've gotten paid for saving my own money for the last 6 years. You didn't know you could do that? Well, now you can. We're not trying to hustle you to become a gold. I don't sell gold. I don't have any gold for resale. I have gold that's my own personal possession. When you get involved in Karatbars, it's your gold. It's yours. You're saving gold, so you're getting paid to save gold. Okay? I earned over 100 grams of free gold today. Put them out, just earned it from doing what I would do. See, you understand something, folks? I would do this for free. I mean, let's get real. All of us, when we get the good news about something we believe in, we will spread that good news for free. That's the truth. If we see a movie we love, we tell about it for free. If we go to a restaurant, we tell about it for free. If we fall bargain on tennis shoes, clothes, shirts, trips, anything, we spread the word for free. I like educating people for free. When I tell people that 95% of the population end up broke, I would tell people that for free. So I want to help liberate people from a system of debt. I do it for free. The fact that we get paid to do it blows my mind. I get paid to do this? You got to be kidding me. Anybody in their right mind should be doing this for free. You should want to help your brother or sister understand somebody's finances. Why have you been working for 100 years, 200, 300 years, and still can't get ahead? God Almighty, get me started. Okay? So watch this now. Wait a minute. So now you know. So if you listen, well, I just can't find a business to start. You can start a Karatbars business for free. Well, I don't like doing that. Your liking the business is not a requirement to succeed. I'm going to say that one more time for those hard-headed ones out there who are listening, who are saying, well, I don't like that networking stuff. I don't like that pyramid and stuff. I don't like bothering my friends. Whatever reason you give, let me explain something. Your liking it is not a requirement to succeed in it. Your liking it is not required for you to get involved. Your liking it is not a requirement to do any aspect of the Karatbars business. You don't have to like it. You can do it anyway like you do your job. 90% of the population don't like their job. They go do it every single day anyway, 5 days a week, and don't like it. So liking Karatbars is not a requirement. Okay? Not a requirement. You do it anyway because it's a necessity. So now you know. Not only did you start a business for zero, you start a business that operates in 140 countries. Did you know you can start an online business with your cell phone? You don't have to go spend $50,000 starting a restaurant or $500,000 starting a restaurant or $1.5 million in McDonald's. You can start for free in this Karatbars business, and you operate in 149 countries worldwide, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it didn't cost you a dime. The company's going to give you the whole accounting, the multi-million-dollar software that'll manage your whole business 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it didn't cost you a dime. Do you understand? If you didn't know it, now you know. And guess you don't work for Karatbars. You don't work for me. You don't work for the person who shared it with you. You don't work you're in business for yourself, and everything starts with you. Everything starts with your vision and your dream. 10 years ago, Dr. Harold Sykes had a vision, had a dream. He believed that the average person would save gold if given the opportunity to save gold 1 gram at a time. Because that's what they could afford. They can't afford a $25,000 investment most brokers want them to do to open up a gold savings account and then charge them all kinds of fees. So they didn't know. But 10 years ago, approximately, he said, I got this vision. And he put millions of dollars on the table to start this vision. Millions. You've been asked to put a few thousand at the best. You can start for free. But if you say, I want to make all the money I can, you can buy a package. I'm not trying to explain the comp plan. I'm trying to tell you what's available that you didn't know that's available. I'm talking not to the people who on the system like Kimberly Henley and Sherry Brown and Matthew Taylor. They all know this. Thank you guys for being here. They all know this. I'm talking to folks out there who don't know what they don't know. And they don't know they can start a business for free. They don't know you start a business and they're getting paid to save their own money, which is gold. They don't know that it's worldwide. They don't know we're not on trial. They don't know our business partners MasterCard. They don't know our business partners FedEx Express that ships go direct to your doorstep. They don't know. They think they know something, but they don't know. Now you know. Wealth secret number one. I didn't know wealth. Now watch this. To know something and not apply it is truly not to know. It's just like not knowing. Now, I read The Richest Man in Babylon 30 years ago. And the rich man in Babylon said, wealth secret number one, pay yourself first. Now, I knew it. That means I've known it for 30 years. But I didn't apply it with the type of discipline that I've learned in the world of Karatbars since I've been in Karatbars. From the time I got in Karatbars, I said, I'm going to pay myself first. For I've learned it, but I didn't apply it. See, to know and not do is not to know. Okay? Man, I got in Karatbars. You know what? I'm going to do this. I'm going to do what they say do for the first time in my life. Okay? I mean, I saved money. Don't misunderstand me. I've saved money, stacked money, done a bunch of stuff, and done some good things with money, some bad things with money. But I never had that genuine discipline when a dollar came in, take 10 cents and say, 100 come in, take $10 and pay me. 1,000 come in, take $100 and pay me first. Before I pay anybody else, before I pay the mortgage, the car note, anybody, I'm paying me. That's wealth principle number one. It takes some serious discipline, folks, to get to that thing. Because we've been taught to pay everybody else. If there's any money left over, we'll save some. Or we've been taught, here's another little misnomer. When you go to the store and something's on sale that was $1 and you get it for 50 cents, you buy 10, you did not save 50 cents. You still spent $5. See, that's not a savings. That's not savings when you put that money away that can outpace inflation and you have no plans for it. Saving for a cruise, that's not a saving. Saving for Christmas, that's not saving. Savings when you stack up gold and say, I have no plans for that gold. One of those ignorant statements people made all the time. What can I do with the gold once I get it? Just save it. What I do if I save it? Just save it. What I do then? Just save it. To save, to have. And folks, you start to pay yourself first. I don't care if it's $10 a week. It starts to creep up on you. In the 6 years in Karatbars, I have more people tell me they save more money in 6 days, save it in gold, in the last 6 years in Karatbars than they ever saved their entire life. Okay? If you never heard, the number one secret of the wealthy is to pay yourself first. Now you heard. If you never do one of our presentations, because we say it every day live on our presentations at 12 o'clock and 9 o'clock at goldrocks.info every single day. But it takes discipline to do that. But now you know. Okay? Here's the second thing. You didn't know. And now I knew this. I knew residual income was important. I've been hearing this since I was 20 years old. I knew it before then because I majored in communication in college. And one of the things that made me major in communications was I read a long time ago about residual income, how actors got residual incomes from movies and TV shows and things they did. They no longer had to work for the money. I read how Desi Arnaz was dead. And Desilu Studios, this is back in the late 70s, Desilu Studios, the man had been dead for 10, 15 years. And Desilu Studios, he started in the 50s, was raking in $100 million a year from worldwide recordings of the Lucille Ball Show, I Love Lucy Show, and everything else that Desilu produced, including Dick Van Dyke and a few other shows. All those shows were generating over $100 million a year. I said, that's the way to go. I understood it. So you write a best-selling book, and that book could sell for the next 10 years, or somebody can make a movie out of 20 years later, and your estate can still get money forever. I said, oh, man, that's the way to go, residual income. Got to figure out how to get residual income. But I like the way Warren Buffett put it, because everybody can understand that. Residual income sounds complicated. Here's what Warren Buffett said. Now you know. Now you're going to know. You didn't know, now you know. Until you learn how to make money while you are asleep, You will work until you die. That's why 95% of the population are broke, because you cannot just work and give your hours to make enough money. So until you learn how to make money while you're asleep, and then we're teaching teenagers this, 9 and 10-year-olds this, who are now thinking, because this is the magnificent tool right here. Now who are thinking, I got to figure out how to make money while I'm asleep. I got to figure out how to make money while I'm asleep. And now with this powerful tool we have called the internet, the iPhone, all the phones out there, the Impulse phone, all the phones we got, all the technology, people learn over and over again how to make money while I sleep. Until you learn how to make money, until you learn how to make money while you sleep, you're going to work until you die. Now we know. I mean, isn't that incredible? I mean, that's a simple statement. Until you learn how to make money while you sleep. Most of us have never ever even thought about that. You talk to the average person that works and say, what do you mean make money while you sleep? But man, if they're open, it's going to be a now you know. Now you know. What Karatbars put you in position to do is to make money while you sleep 24 hours a day and 7 days a week. Now you know. Okay? 37 years in this industry, and I believe that Karatbars is the greatest business this industry, not this industry, I believe it's the greatest business the world has ever seen. We have more people in Karatbars making money, retired early, paying off mortgages, buying cars, doing things, and we're still the best kept secret in the world. And people say, why? I said, because we're in 149 countries and we haven't penetrated any places. I just told you, here's Stephen McNeil and Global Freedom Chase on the West Coast, and he's like one of maybe 3 gold directors on the entire West Coast. It's what, 50 million people on the West Coast? How is that possible? Okay? We don't have 10 solid events taking place all across North America, and the company is 10 years old. Okay? Anyway, I want to get out because I'm not trying to sit on Karatbars. This talk was called to know, now you know what you don't know. But you know what? Since I got your attention, give me 10 more minutes. I'm off there. I think I pointed some things out that you know, that you didn't know, that hopefully you know. I'm not preaching to Dr. Sergio Roselle because he knows what I just said. I'm not preaching to Eric Tariq Muhammad. He knows what I just shared. Sherry Brown knows what I just shared. Most of you who are on this live stream, I'm really putting this message out there for your friends and relatives who may not have heard. But now I'm going to talk to the people who are on the team already. Because I said, I've done this talk before. I'm going to give you 5 minutes. I might go into depth on a freedom call. I don't know. But look, I made a talk 2-3 years ago. I realized it's time to do it again because a lot of new people out there. And the talk is called Dream plus Faith plus Work, Time, Tools equals Success. Now, because Mr. Delk and I were talking about motivation, inspiration, what comes first, and chicken or the egg. And I'm going to do it one more time. The dream, write this down for those who are new. The dream plus faith plus work times tools equals success. Now, what's the dream? We all know that. You got to know what you want. Your why is more important than how. I'm going to say it one more time. Your why is more important than how. So once you have a crystal clear why, I said the ultimate why is freedom. But you may not believe in freedom. But if you can believe in a new lamp, a new couch, a new car, just paying off some bills, you got to find some why that really truly cranks you up. It can't be a lukewarm why. It can't. I don't understand how people can talk about Karatbars and say, well, Karatbars is a great thing. I don't know that to me, that person don't have a passion. Okay? I have to tone myself down to talk like this. I have to work it. I mean, almost like I have to strain myself to calm myself down because of what has happened to me in the last 6 years in Karatbars. Not talking about what's happened in the first 30 years in the industry, just what's happening in Karatbars. I have to tone myself down to try to talk in a calm, professional demeanor. Okay? Let's start with the dream. You got to have a dream. My dream was not selling lotion, potion, pills. My dream was freedom. What's your dream? You've got to, folks, I know, yes, well, no, I don't need that. I need to know what to do. Let me tell you something. Until you have a dream, I'm going to say it one more time so you know. Until you have a dream that you've got to have. Some of you heard the whole story how the guy went out to Socrates or some great guru and said, teach me the secrets of success. And the guy said, meet me out at the river tomorrow morning at 6 o'clock and I'll show you, I'll teach you about success. And he took him out to the river and stuck his head under the water and held him under the water till he almost drowned. And then he lifted him up. He said, now here, when you want success, like you wanted that breath of air, like you wanted oxygen, then you have it. He didn't see no techniques. He didn't tell him what dream he had to have. He didn't tell him where he had to go here and draw this many circles or do the plan like this and how to come. He didn't show him any of that. When you have a burn to succeed, when you have a burn for your dream, you will figure out how. And the beauty of what we're doing, you don't have to figure out how. We know how to do it. We know what you need to do. But we can't give you the dream. So Mr. Delk and I was talking about, Mr. Delk, it still all goes back to the dream. Now, once you got the dream, you got to do what? You got to fuel that dream with faith. Because if you don't believe that dream is possible, you won't put forth the effort. So after you get the dream, you got to build your faith in that dream. How do you build your faith in that dream? Good evening, Miss Tammy Morris. Good evening. Tom Morris. Good evening. Good evening. Look, once you have the dream, you got to feed that dream. How do you feed the dream? Plug into the power call. Well, I don't really like that kind of stuff. You don't have to like it. It's not a requirement for you to like it, to benefit from it. You may not need it, but I submit you do need it. I said to Mr. David, I said, you don't need them. I don't need it. He don't need it to perform every day. But to perform at a peak level, you need it every day. To perform at a maximum level, you need that motivation, inspiration every single day. Who you are, you need it every day. And for those who are on that call, could you see a difference in Mr. Delco today than maybe another? He's fired up every day. But man, that's a different animal on the phone call this morning, on the power call this morning. You would listen to a different guy cranked up. I said, why are you so cranked up, Mr. Delco? Why? Because that presentation with Anthony Robbins, he'd already seen it 4 times. Okay? He was at a peak performance level. You want to be at your peak performance level at most times, if not all time in this business. How you stay at peak performance level? You got to constantly feed your faith. You feed your faith by being on the power call. You feed your faith by reading a book. Plug my book again. Dream Chaser Manifesto. Dr. Sykes' book. Think Big. All the time. You got to be reading something all the time, folks, that will feed that faith in what we're doing. This guy started a business with a few $1 million. 20, 30 million. I don't know what the exact amount was. Doesn't matter. But it was more than a doggone VIP package. I can tell you that. Okay. And today there's 1 million people involved because he believed. And you wonder if you can get started and build this thing, please. Now you know. Okay? So you start feeding that faith. You feed that faith by plugging into all the live events. You feed the faith by plugging all the virtual events. You feed that faith by being around other believers. You don't feed that faith at all. In fact, you want to lose your faith in the business. You want to not perform at peak level. Okay? Listen to the news all day. Give yourself an hour to 2 hours worth of news all day. Watch every single video on Facebook that somebody's sending you about somebody being brutalized. I'm not saying ignore it. I'm saying see it. But if that's your mental diet all day long, then it's not going to help you build this business. If you didn't know, now you know. I'm not saying ignore it. Okay? You got to be aware. I'm aware of everything that's going on. But I don't let that consume. 90% of what goes on in here is information to help me do what? Work with you guys, build this business, work with new people. That's me. I'm feeding this faith. Look, I don't need to feed my faith to do the business. Okay? Carabas gave me 100, I earned 100 grams of free gold. I don't even understand how that gets in there, except I know they told me to go get the package. I get the package, I get the free gold. I get the matching bonus gold. I keep calling it free. See, it's like free to me. If I don't have to exchange some dollars for it, if I don't have to exchange this for it, to me, I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. I get gold every month for doing what I would do for free. You got to be kidding me. Anyway, calm down, Tara. Okay? You got the dream plus the faith. So now your faith is up, man. You're at optimum level all the time. You cranked up all the time. You reading the books. You listen to tapes. You're at optimum performance level. When you're at optimum performance level, you go into the grocery store. You don't let a prospect get by you. When you're at optimum performance level mentally, you're at the barber shop, the beauty salon, wherever you are, at church, wherever you are, you're always ready to say, hey, my name is Ty Best. Here's my card. Hey, my name is Ty Best. I'm always looking for Sharpie. Here's my card. Let me ask you a question. Do you keep your income options? You're always on cue. And you're not constantly doubting yourself, constantly got to be fired up. You're there all the time. So you fed your faith. Now you said, that means what comes first, the work of the faith? You feed the faith, because when you listen to the information on a consistent basis, when you plug into the power call on a consistent basis, when you read about success and achievement on a consistent basis, you're going to do the work. It becomes an unconscious habit. You're doing the work all the time anyway. Because you're fired up. Why? Because you got the dream, you've been feeding the faith, so you believe in the dream, and now you got the inspiration and the motivation that makes you do the work. The inspiration and motivation comes before the work. You be all telling me, I don't need this stuff. That's why you're not working. I don't need to plug in all that rah-rah stuff. I know that's your business reflects that. Okay? I don't need to read. I don't like to read. I know, I can tell every time you talk to me, I can tell you don't read. Every time you open your mouth, we know you don't read. Okay, but you say, well, I don't have anything to say. I said, it's because you don't read. I don't know what to say on the live stream. That's because you don't read. There is no way you can consistently read, put something in here, and something don't come out. You can't do it. It's impossible. It's like, you know why I got all this around my stomach? Because I put something in here. See? It's called chocolate cake and chocolate chip cookies and peanut butter M&Ms. That's why I got this right here. It's not an accident. Doctor asked me, Tyrone, you know you gained 40 pounds. What you been doing? I said, eating. Oh, God. Okay, if I want to reduce this, I got to stop putting the wrong stuff in here. You want the right stuff to come out of here, you got to put the right stuff in here. It's not that deep. And then you do the work. What's the work? The work is talking to folks. The work is exposing this program to people every single day. That's the work, folks. That's the work. Okay? That's the work. Now watch this. You can do the work. But now watch this. I said the dream plus faith plus work, and then I put a multiplier. The multiplier is the tools. What's the tools? The tool is the system. It's all the things that are available in the system. When you learn how to utilize this system, this tool, the tool is the whole system. The tool is passed out a CD. Look, I got a stack of CDs. Wait up, behind me somewhere. Oh, look. I know everybody don't believe in CDs. Why? Because you can look, if you're a techno guy, you can download. You go to Weapons Worldwide and download it. But I know this. When people get to me, I want to put a CD in their hand. I want them to hear the double dose of freedom, Mr. Doug. I'm trying to feed their faith. I use all the tools, not some of the tools. Val, I used to use the example all the time. She used to love the example. She said, look, you can build a house with a rock and a nail. But it's gonna work a little better with a hammer and a nail. It's gonna work a little faster with a nail gun and nails. Okay? You can build a house with logs. It'll work a little fast. You get the idea? The more efficient your tools, the more your tools work, the faster things happen. That's why you utilize the whole system. You know what the power call is every day? It's just a tool. Or you're using that tool. Okay? Or you're teaching your team to utilize that tool because it duplicates. It multiplies everything you do. I mean, you can drive 100 people to the power call. I'm not encouraging this, but you can drive 100 people to the noon presentation while you're on the golf course. And somebody's doing the presentation while you're on the golf course, and that tool is working for you. At 9 o'clock at night, we got another presentation. You can drive 100 people there every single day. You could be taking a nap while the presentation's been done because it's not being done. It's not your presence is not necessary. Your presence is necessary at a live meeting, but your presence is not necessary, okay, on the live stream presentation. I would encourage you to be there because your prospect typically will call you as soon as the call's over and say, man, I saw this, I'm ready to go. You can't be sleeping, not paying attention. Okay? But the fact of the matter is these two, you could be at work 9 o'clock at night. And you send 100 people to that presentation, man, the tool is working. Okay? The Freedom Summit, that's a tool. Okay? The Chronicles is coming up in July by the Union. That's a tool. The Huddle is a tool. The Freedom Call is a tool. The Power Call is a tool. The President is a tool. Your upline is a tool. Your crossline is a tool. Okay? Everything involved in the world of Karatbars is a tool. Or you utilize the tools. That's the multiplier. Man, I thank Mr. Delco every day. You know why? Because he taught me this tool I'm on right now. Okay? Just go to Facebook, hit live, and start talking. That's a tool. All these things are tools. The computer's a tool. Your phone's a tool. Your upline's a tool. Your crossline's a tool. All these are tools. Utilize all these tools, and it multiply everything that's going on in your business. I get networking sometime into the program. I said, let me explain something to you. We had 40,000 people on our team in Wealth Builders Worldwide, in my immediate downline, probably more than that plugging in the Wealth Builders, but on my immediate downline. I hate to use the word my immediate downline because that sounds so controlling, but for lack of a better word, in the bloodline. That started because my wife and I had a dream. I signed myself up, signed my wife up, signed my 29-year-old, okay? 3 of us. That had grown to 40,000 people, right? And that's over a 5-year period. 40,000. Okay? Now watch this. This is God knows truth. I'm not incurred. I'm just telling you what I did. Okay? I did about 26 meetings. Live meetings in 5 years. In the old days, I do 26, 25, 30, 40 meetings every month, eyeball to eyeball in the 80s and 90s, building a business. Because of technology and because of the tools, we was able to put together a team of 40,000 people because of Facebook, because of LinkedIn, because of all the internet stuff, because of email, because of texting, because of the tool. And then the 5th year in the business, I got my health back. I felt energetic, restored, went out and did about maybe 30 meetings. I'm going to say 2 to 3 a month. So they can say somewhere between 30 to 40 events and meetings I attend, including Let's Go Weekend. And the company grew from 40,000, the organization grew from 40,000 to over 100 plus thousand people in the next 12 months. Tools. An event is a tool. Utilize the tools. So I want to say dream, get a dream, write it down. Feed that dream. That's where faith comes in. But faith without what works, that's where works come in. You got to put forth the time, the energy, the effort. But what's going to multiply is you don't have to be everything to everybody. You know why I love CDs? Okay, because these work 24 hours a day. Everybody's driving to work, and I want them to pop that in while they're going to work. I don't want them, I'm telling you, I don't want them to listen to the radio. I don't care who's on. I don't want them to listen to the radio in the morning and when they're on the way to work. I want them to listen to a CD while it's in their car. I don't want them fumbling around how to find it on their phone. I want them getting right there and pop that thing and hit play. Okay? One CD in the right person's hand, multi-million. One person in the power call, the right person, multi-million-dollar business. So simple, folks. But we can't make you do what you don't want to do. But as C.C. Mahone says, you don't know what you don't know. Now you know some things that you don't know. And now you know the secret to this business. We're not doing brain surgery. Mr. Delco don't have a particular advantage. I didn't have a particular advantage. I didn't tell Mr. Delco something I'm not telling everybody. You got to have a dream first. You got to feed that dream every single day. That belief in that dream, you got to feed it every day. Not every chance you get, you got to be feeding that dream. If you believe in God for $1 million home, $1 million estate for you, you got to feed that dream every single chance you get. And you got to ignore that noise, as Dr. Dominic Carey said, that's coming from the outside force, including your wife, your husband, your kids, your grandkids, your nieces, your nephews, your friends, your relatives, your strangers. You got to ignore that noise. That noise is always talking about what cannot be done. That's why if you haven't heard my tape, who cares what they think? I call it they think. It sounds nicer. But the real title is who cares what they think? You got to get that place. You don't care what they think. The committee of they think. Okay? You got to go to work. And you got to learn how to utilize all these tools. And then the last thing I say, and then you got to give yourself time to succeed. So many people blow up their entire business or don't even get started because we got this microwave mentality. And if we don't get rich in 30 days or 90 days, we figure something wrong with the program. We've been on our job 20 years, making 40 grand a year. But we're getting carried about 90 days. We ain't got rich. So not working. Folks, we say it's a 2 to 5 year run to freedom. Yes, Mr. Delco did 103 days. We got some people who've done it in 6 months, 4 months. You may be fast, but give yourself time. They told me it's 2 to 5 years too. Okay, it took me 12 years. My wife got free in 4. Evidently, we're not that sharp, but I can tell we are. We were so stubborn, knucklehead, persistent. We had seen somebody do it, and if they could do it, we know we could do it. And if I can do it, if Valerie can do it, if Michael Delco can do it, Manisha Delco can do it, Eric Teray can do it, if all these different folks can do it, Kevin 2X Thompson, if the union can do it, if all these folks can do it, it just means you can do it. We're just getting started. So dream big and understand the word of Caraballo, you're going to be constantly learning things that you didn't know. But once you know, you should do better. And to know and not apply is like not knowing. God bless. Hey, thank you very much for your time, folks. 9 o'clock tonight. Drive everybody you can to the 9 o'clock. Everybody you can to the 9 o'clock presentation. Don't pick and choose. Don't try to call those who you think going to do it. Man, drive every blue dot, everybody on your phone. Do something unique tonight. Text everybody in your phone the 9 o'clock presentation. Even those who told 3 months ago, 6 months ago, 8 months ago, don't matter. You text them all their flyers and say, hey, get on this 9 o'clock presentation. Now, it's going to be incredible. Hey, got some new information. Get on this 9 o'clock presentation. And just watch and see what happens. They can still ignore it, or you never know, because, folks, it's about timing. It's not about who you are. It's not about your message. It's about the timing in which the message gets to them. And if the timing's right, as Joe Norman said, one of the top income earners and Caraballo, and Big Boomer says, you cannot say the wrong thing to the right person at the right time. God bless. Dream big. Ow.